Hey, ¿qué pasa, gente? Bienvenidos a los juegos del Tito Amor. Yo soy Mor, estamos aquí con Genshin Impact. Un nuevo episodio, una nueva partidita. Estábamos con la misión esta de Sumeru, de ayudar a la señora esta a cocinarle y tal, que se había quedado aquí la pobrecita. Así que nada, vamos a seguir por aquí. Vamos a cocinarle algo. Y ya sabéis, como siempre os digo, que si os está gustando, pues os podéis parar un instante para dejarme likes, comentarios, suscribiros, darle a la campanita, compartir el vídeo, contactarme por las redes sociales, lo que queráis. Y esto de preparar almuerzo, que es la primera vez que lo veo esto. Ah, bueno, que es para ella. Es para la chica esta, que tiene hambre.
Oh, it smells amazing. And the box is a nice touch too.
Un almuerzo que preparaste especialmente. Vale. ¿Dónde está Haypasia? Hipólita. El trigo, que es muy importante para las civilizaciones y las culturas. ¿Esto no se puede robar? No.
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly... Even though everything you mentioned was in Tignari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so, and everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn eel primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth.
No, le voy a decir que lo he comprendido, porque si le digo disculpa, me he perdido, lo mismo me lo vuelve a explicar, así que no.
Naturally.
Deja.
Anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was she...
That was primarily due to her body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, she could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any sense similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn eel would cause adverse effects. Not to worry though, it appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques...
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life.
Whoa. You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritawes Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt... I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa, so knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Aren't you afraid of the risks, Haypasia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself, and they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Huh. Is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, the sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things she saw when she connected with Irminsul?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might... If you two are ever in the area again, please... There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm...
Now that we know Haypasia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Bueno, pues vuelve a la villa Gandharva. Gandul. Villa Gandharva, que está a 237 metros, que son unos cuantos metros. Así que vamos a volver. Bueno, la verdad es que tampoco... No ganamos mucho tampoco yendo por el teletransporte, ¿no? So, let's go people, let's go party. Bueno, que hemos caído por las cataratas. Bueno. Mira, ahora sí que vamos a ir aquí. A resucitar a Charlene. Que no quiero gastar un plato. Bueno, lo bueno es que al hacer las misiones estas del Arconte, me imagino que nos darán acceso por fin a la reputación de Sumeru y podremos empezar a hacer misiones de reputación.
Think about it, Tignari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher, and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that as Sage Collei clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumeru City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul? How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to Tignari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the Academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Collei, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation.
I see. Huh. And I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tignari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Collei?
You'll know once you've arrived in Sumeru City, that is.
And how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tignari, but you...
So be it. Come, Ghulam, we're leaving.
Tignari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the Academia wanted me to go to Sumeru City to assist them with a project. But all that can wait. How did things go with Haypasia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will...
That's right! We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice.
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumeru City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumeru City have been fairly short. How about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amurta Darshan and is a Also, when you enter Sumeru City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but...
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise.
Great! Next up, Sumeru City! That's right! Tignari, we have something important to say to Collei before we leave.
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tignari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you.
I've been waiting for you two. Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Collei. We're headed to Sumeru City. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another. There's no need to apologize, Collei. We should be thanking you. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you. Thank you. That means a lot. Oh? What is it? It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? Yay! Thanks, Collei. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and... I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandar. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Collei, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharville again.
Pues nada, pues muy bien. Y encima podemos hacer la receta del doner kebab. Los perros y gatos no se puede atrapar. Ah, sí. A Zafiro sí que se puede atrapar. Y al gato de nieve gris. Y a este es un hurón de las nieves. Y este es un hurón con botas. Hurón electroazul. Joder. Cantidad de bichos ahí más. Otros. Fíjate. Híjate. Anguila adornada. Bueno, a ver. Seguimos, venga. Hay que ir al palacio, ¿no? Como es bien sabido que las cosas de palacio van despacio, pues vamos a...
The city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Bueno, no exactamente, pero bueno. A ojos de la historia, digamos que sí.
Right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's after centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need.
Anda. Mira qué chulo.
I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as
Oh, so this is the thing that Tignari was telling us about. It sounds...
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy...
Mira
Here
que
are
bien,
your
qué suerte
Akasha
hemos tenido.
terminals. Please handle them with care.
Pues muy bien.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty...
Oh! Says this little doodad lets you access knowledge. Maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. May the mighty god bless us with their voice. Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we wanted.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Muchas gracias.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Oh, come on! Ugh. Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of... Ugh. Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it?
Pues que nos lo cambien. Que nos han dado un cacharro defectuoso.
Glad it's not just Paimon.
Sí. Mal de muchos, consuelo de tontos.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people... Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanal. He's from Sumeru and even has a position in the Academia. Let's see. Tignari wrote an address on the letter's envelope.
Rojavi.
Oh, it's
Los
not far from the
Rohirrim.
city's gate. Let's head over and have a look. Hopefully he's at home.
Los Rohirrim.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tignari sent us here and...
What? Tignari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the
Here! This is a letter from Tignari!
Oh, let me see. Oh! Ooh, what a relief. Seems even Tignari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information.
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure...
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made it public.
Huh. Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
Aw, but then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able... In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha, and things you can never accomplish. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years.
Okay.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academy... Hey, come on! This is a survival...
Oh, Paimon's expectations. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone. Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network.
Been handed all the colors and texts again.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Sumeru es la ciudad que menos me gusta de las 4 hasta ahora. O sea, digamos que si tuviera que hacer una tier list de ciudades favoritas, probablemente sería Liyue. Después pondría sí, Inazuma, las islas en general. De Inazuma, más que Mondstadt, sí, más que Mondstadt. Y luego Sumeru. Sumeru es una selva, es un bosque. O sea, lo intentan hacer como cúpulas medio arábigas y tal, pero en realidad no me termina de gustar. No me termina de gustar el sitio. Así que lo siento mucho, pero para la próxima actualización y la próxima región que abran, espero que sea más bonita que Sumeru.
Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Oh, Catherine! We need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you.
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Vaya cosa, nos has dicho.
Another dead end. Well,
pues nos han dicho que está en el santuario de no sé qué, pues ir al santuario ese, coño.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two.
Soy más poco... Madre mía.
In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous... They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest...
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, if you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's head. You're welcome. I wish you to...
Alright, off to the Citadel of...
Bueno, pues un segundo. Ya que estamos aquí, dame las recompensas de las expediciones. Por favor.
Ad Astra.
Vale, ahora sí. Bueno, Ciudadela Rexar. ¿Y eso dónde está? ¿A dónde vas? Este no me vende nada, no sé por qué. Era eso, que hasta que no hable con la reina no podré... No tendré acceso a... alas. Bueno, pues hemos hecho unas compritas para la cena. ¿Ves? Pero me sigue faltando el gremio de la reputación. No sé dónde está. Aquí está, pero este no me deja hacer nada todavía, creo. A lo mejor ahora, al hablar con ellos.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand. We'd like to ask you about some...
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent... Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously? That...
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as we originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe, in their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance. And the Academia never announces anything about her.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that...
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it.
All right, well...
No problem. Always happy to help.
Is there a new
Seems Asfand was right about most people's attitudes here.
Attitude. No,
Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru. But the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted, panicked by what he heard. The man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, in despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, The man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on it, at that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. Oh, Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you.
Típica respuesta
Along
de
your
los dioses.
journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind.
Yeah, thanks for the story. Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened? It looks like they're searching for someone. This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with...
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress?
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find...
Nada, como podéis ver, habrá que completar alguna misión o algo para que te empiecen a dar encargos de reputación.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's... Uh-oh. Looks like there are some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
Entra en la taberna, taberna. De todas formas, lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí, gente, yo creo. En el próximo seguimos aquí con las aventuras de Sumeru. Espero que os haya gustado, que os esté gustando. Y nada, nos vemos en el siguiente si os apetece. Un saludín muy gordo, sed buenos, sed buenas, sed felices. Chao, chao.